Good evening and welcome inside the GCU Soccer Stadium on the campus of Grand Canyon University as we get set for some women's soccer action as the Grand Canyon University Lopes are set to host the Chicago State Cougars in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Jack O'Hara here with you alongside Montana Lambden as the Lopes look to rebound after a tough weekend against Seattle and California Baptist.
Jack, the Lopes had two tough losses against arguably two of the best teams in the conference, Seattle U and California Baptist. Friday's game was very physical, leaving their starters unavailable for Sunday's game. Despite the Lopes' loss, Lauren Garthwaite had an excellent weekend, making a new Division I record here at GCU for 16 saves in a single game.
And you got to like the Lopes' chances tonight going up against the Chicago State Cougars. 5-0 lifetime, and the Cougars, of course, still looking for their first win on the season.
The Cougars have lost every single game this season and are looking for their first win, but it's not going to be easy for them tonight.
And it's kick or treat night here on campus as we get set for Halloween. But for now, we got women's soccer action. It's the Lopes and the Cougars right here on GCU TV.
About time we watched it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. We want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
GCU helps you stay focused on staying purpose-driven. They give you the tools to find what your purpose truly is. Once I got out here, I kind of had an identity crisis. Walking around campus, I saw a flyer for something called Java Jams. When I first walked onto that stage, my heart was pounding, but I was able to find myself as an artist. My name is Joseph, and I earned my Bachelor's of Arts degree at GCU.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
The sun has set here on the campus of Grand Canyon University, and it is time for women's soccer action as the Grand Canyon University Lopes are set to host the Chicago State Cougars here in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Jack O'Hara here with you alongside Montana Lambden. And Montana, we kind of touched up on it on the pregame a little bit. The Cougars coming into this one 0-16. The Lopes got to like their chances coming into this one.
Definitely. I know Coach Leader is feeling ecstatic tonight as throughout the 5 times Grand Canyon has played them, GCU's come away with all 5 of those wins. They're looking to get their 6th straight victory against Chicago State tonight, and the keys to the game tonight are going to be tonight is the night. Tonight's going to be a good night for the Lopes. It is their chance to get back on track in the WAC standings and secure their spot for the WAC tournament that's coming up. They're currently tied in 5th place with 2 other teams. And so it's not going to be easy to rack that up. And the second key to the game tonight is going to be kick them down. Chicago State has not won a single game this entire season. The Cougars are still looking for their first win of the Division I era since August of 2014. So it's been 5 years since they have won a game. And the third key to the game tonight is going to be recovery. The Lope girls are healthier than they were at Sunday's match in California. They're looking to recover tonight as we have most of our starters back in tonight's lineup.
And we are underway as the Lopes, right off the bat, are going to be on defense as that one's going to be kicked to midfield. Of course, the Lopes looking to get on the scoreboard for the first time since last Thursday against Kansas City. Of course, Danny Babb and Cameron Larson coming away with goals in that one. Larson's coming with just a minute to go in that game. Of course, Danny Babb's the first of her collegiate career. As the Lopes are going to take back over on offense, Larson is going to find Iran Chad on the far side. Lopes looking to find some space early against this Cougars team, like we just mentioned, 0-16 on the season. Still looking for their first win in nearly 5 years in WAC play. As they'll take back over here on offense. Lopes quickly looking to dissect that pass as that one's going to go into the box of Lauren Garthwaite. She'll kick it away. Lopes able to keep that one in play. Kick near the near side. That one's going to be intercepted by Chicago State, and it's going to go out of play at midfield. Looks like it's going to be Sandra Hill inbounding that one. The quick pass to Iran Chad. Back to Hill. Pass quickly intercepted again by Chicago State, looking to separate themselves early. Looking for a foul on that call. They won't find it there. Pass intercepted by Chicago State yet again. Cougars only scoring 3 times in their last 8 contests. Shut out in their last 3, as the Lopes have also been shut out in their last 2. Last week here at home, Friday night against the Seattle Redhawks, a 1-0 loss. Hannah Edwards with a late scoring chance in that game on Friday night, but the Lopes coming away with the 1-0 loss, and then of course the 3-0 loss against California Baptist on Sunday, a game in which Lauren Garthwaite had herself 16 saves in that 3-0 loss. So a lot of positives coming out of these past recent events despite the 2 losses, as that one's going to be quickly intercepted by the Lopes, playing good defense early on.
Yeah, it's been a lot of learning experiences for the girls. They're all a new team, 14 freshmen on the Lopes squad. Really just figuring things out, taking the season to grow together.
As Perry Belzer looking for Danny Babb on the far side, but that one's going to be deflected into the Lopes box, and it looks like Garthwaite's going to take it.
Chicago State coming off of a loss against New Mexico State at home. They lost 1-2.
And no foul called there, as it looked like Haley Bostard was looking for the call, doesn't find it, as Chicago State once again looking to play solid defense early on in this one. And of course the first foul of the night is going to be called right there on Chicago State. So the Lopes do get the calls. We'll take another look here at the replay. As again, Haley Bostard roughed up on that play, gets the call. Chicago State threatening here, though, right outside Lopes territory. We mentioned the 16 saves from Garthwaite on Sunday. She's going to get her second goal kick of the game right here. As that one's going to be kicked back to midfield. Lauren Garthwaite trying to keep this one out of Lopes territory as much as she can, as the Lopes are going to quickly try to regain possession here on offense. A nice slide kick there from, it looked like, Leah Kisvari. Larson with the pass down the sideline. It looks like that one's going to scoot out of play, as both Sandra Hill and Lauren Reber unable to get to it, but Reber will inbound this one for the Cougars. And she just hands it off to Judith Cerebis, the goalkeeper for Chicago State. Passes back to Reber on the near side. Reber finds Castellanos down the middle. Lopes defense all over that one. Looking for a chance right there was Perry Belzer. Unable to come away with the kill right there was Cerebes. That's her first save of the night. Back to midfield for the Lopes.
Coaches for tonight's matchup is Cristiano Costa for Chicago and Derek Leader for Grand Canyon, as always.
And Belzer on the near side, looking for another shot right here, as she was just inches away from giving the Lopes a 1-0 lead. As that one deflects to the right of the goalpost, just a few inches shy on the right side. So within the first 5 minutes in this one, Perry Belzer has taken her chances. We'll take another look. Going for the home run kick outside the box, as Cerebes, all she had to do was turn and watch that one hit the backside of the net. And she'll come away with her second goal kick. Lopes defense putting the pressure on again, as it looks like they're going to give themselves another opportunity here. On the deflection was Reber. And just like that, Judith Cerebes has 2 saves already within the first 5 minutes.
Lopes are wasting no time trying to come away with it early, putting the pressure on Judith Cerebes.
And that one kicked back to midfield. Chicago State looking for a lengthy run here on offense, but just like that, the Lopes able to intercept it. And it looks like they're going to reset, re-strategize here, as it's good to see them putting pressure early on here on Judith Cerebes, who again has had a rough stretch as of late, allowing 10 scores in her last 4 games. As the Lopes will once again reset on offense.
Cerebus has started 11 of her 16 games. She's allowed 54 goals, but has made 125 saves.
Anna Whitaker to Hannah Edwards, who's going to find Danny Babb on the far side. Pass down the middle to Cameron Larson. The header on the far side to Babb. Babb's not going to be able to keep that one in play. She runs that one down, utilizing her speed there at the final moments. But Chicago State will take over on the far side. Looks like it's going to be, again, Lauren Reber here for Chicago State. Mentioned 5-0 lifetime are the Lopes against Chicago State. Two 2-0 here at home, 3-0 in Chicago, as that one's going to be passed on the near side. Perry Belzer trying to keep that one in play offensively for the Lopes. As she finds Sandra Hill. Hill finds Anna Whitaker. It's going to pass it midfield. Back to Edwards. Edwards finding Iran Chad on the far side as well. Lopes doing a nice job separating themselves early on from the Cougars, giving themselves space to work with, as Perry Belzer is going to give herself another chance here. Looking for some wiggle room. The Lopes looking to take the lead again. That one's going to be blocked, as great defense there from Marissa Beal. Able to knock that one down. The Lopes still threatening here against Chicago State, as that one's going to be knocked out of play. So the Lopes offense continuing to put the pressure on Judith Cerebes in the Chicago defense early on. It doesn't look like it's far from over, as Perry Belzer is going to inbound this one to Danny Babb. Or excuse me, Sandra Hills. Hills going to find Hannah Edwards at the top of the key. Edwards is going to take a chance as that one hits the top of the goalpost. Lopes looking for the first score, and they're going to find it. And just like that, it is a 1-0 Lopes lead here against Chicago State. So the offense continuing and continuing and continuing to put the pressure on Judith Cerebes, and it finally pays off here in the 8th minute.
Really great teamwork by the Lopes right now, securing their first goal in the first 10 minutes of half number 1. You can take another look here.
And of course, Hannah Edwards inches away from giving the Lopes the lead, and right there was Danny Babb for her second collegiate goal. Second goal in the last 4 games for Babb. And it's a 1-0 Lopes lead with about 8.5 minutes into half number 1. And just like that, the Lopes right back on offense, looking to put more pressure on Chicago State. Chicago State looking to give Judith Cerebes a break here, as that one's going to be deflected. Cameron Larson looking for the goal kick. She won't find it there, as that one's going to be passed back to midfield by Chicago State. Again, Chicago State has not done a great job separating themselves from this Lopes defense early on here in the first 9 minutes, as Perry Belzer has possession here on the near side. Hands it off to Larson. Larson going for the deep pass back to Belzer. It looks like that one's going to go out of play. Quickly inbounded by Chicago State, and Cerebes will come away with her 4th goal kick of the game here in the 9th minute. So the Lopes, again, if you're just tuning us, have taken a 1-0 lead on Danny Babb's second goal of the season.
And we've been talking about Danny Babb since she's made her comeback here. She was injured, coming off an injury, and Coach Leader was so excited to have her back in the lineup, and that showed that game, her getting her first collegiate goal, and then now only 2 more games in, getting her second really vital player for the Lopes squad.
As the Lopes threatening again, Babb looking for another score. And they're not going to give it to her, as she looks frustrated down there by the call. Looked like that ball passed the line, but no call there from the official. Lopes looking to regain possession right away. Chicago State looking to take advantage of the situation, as the Lopes once again look to re-strategize here at midfield.
Really tough call there. Jack, I had to say, I thought that went in.
Yeah, Danny Babb seemed frustrated down there on the field, looking for her second goal within 4 minutes here, as we'll take another look, as that one definitely looked like it passed the line. Definitely hit the goalpost as well, as you got to feel for Danny Babb.
You can see the frustration from Coach Leader, standing with his arms crossed on the side of the field.
Lopes threatening again here, and just like that, Judith Cerebes on it for Chicago State. That's going to be her 3rd save of the night already. And I would not be shocked here if Judith Cerebes just took her time here with the goal kick, trying to get that one deep into Lopes territory as much as possible, as Chicago State's offense looks to give her a break here. Again, only 11 minutes into this half, as the Lopes quickly back on offense. Sandra Hill takes it on the near side, using fancy footwork there to sneak past both Reber and Castellanos, as Chicago State quickly on the rebound. That one's going to be kicked on the far side midfield. The Lopes able to keep that one in play, as that one's going to be quickly knocked out of play. Looked like Lauren Reber got a foot on that one. But the Lopes regain possession. Babb is going to find Edwards at midfield. Edwards, I believe, was looking for Perry Belzer on the far side. But right there is Chicago State's defense, and just like that, the Lopes able to combat that Chicago State offense. Cameron Larson on the near side. Going to take it herself. And goes for the home run kick herself there. But right there is Cerebes for yet another save.
12 minutes in, but you can see why she has so many saves on the season. Her team struggles to defend her.
And just like that, the Lopes will take back over on offense yet again, as that one is an obvious call there from the official. Chicago State looked like Marissa Beal there with the hold on Haley Bostard. Second foul against Bostard here in the first 12 and a half minutes, as the Lopes once again find some space on the far side. Danny Babb down the sideline, going one-on-one with Leah Kisvari. Kisvari doing a nice job not letting that one get out of the corner, as Chicago State is going to knock that one out of play. So the Lopes will regain possession yet again. Sophia Roberts going to inbound. And after the deflection, Roberts going to find Hannah Edwards at midfield. Edwards going to find Perry Belzer on the near side. Belzer right outside the box is going to go back to Edwards. Edwards finds Sandra Hill. Hill going to take a chance with it inside the box there, but right there was Lauren Reber. Kicks that one back to midfield, but right there is Anna Whitaker. Whitaker going to find Hill on the near side. And a nice job there from Annika Stevens, able to combat that pass. Belzer on the near side by midfield. Goes for the far pass. Danny Babb looking to run that one down, but right there was Judith Cerebes for yet another save. So she'll kick it away here for Chicago State once again, looking for a lengthy run on offense here, as it has been all Lopes here in the first 13 and a half minutes. And just like that, Sandra Hill going to set up another offensive attack here for the Lopes. Pass intercepted by Reber. Reber looking for Stevens down the middle of the field. But right there are the Lopes yet again. Cameron Larson with the ball on the near side, near midfield.
Things getting very physical down there. In the last time these two teams faced up each other, there was a lot of injuries due to the physicality. These teams are aggressive against each other.
As Chicago State once again right there looking for the slide effect, or the slide kick right there from, it looked like Lauren Reber defending Hannah Edwards, as that one's going to be taken down the far side of the field. Lopes once again deep in enemy territory looking for another score, as that one's going to be deflected. Marissa Beal on it for Chicago State. She'll take it up the field near midfield. We'll see if Cameron Larson can combat that pass, as she finds Annika Stevens. Stevens with the pass down the far side, going to be deflected, and the Lopes will take back over on offense. So within the first 15 minutes here in half number one, this Lopes offense has done a tremendous job at putting the pressure on Judith Cerebes, who again already has 4 saves in this one to go with the 1 score coming from Danny Babber's second collegiate goal of the season and her career, as that one's going to be inbounded. Larson finds Perry Blazer, but Blazer's pass is going to be deflected by Castellanos. Castellanos looking for Reber on the far side, but the foul is going to go against the Lopes. So for the first time in this one, Chicago State is looking to put the pressure on Lauren Garthwaite. We mentioned Lauren Garthwaite coming off a 16-save performance against California Baptist on Sunday on the road. And that will be the first kick in enemy lines, as Lauren Garthwaite picks it up, and she'll come away with her second goal kick of the night. So not much of a threat there from the Chicago State Cougars as they'll go right back on defense with the Lopes looking to put the pressure on yet again.
And I know that the Lopes feel confident in their goalie, Lauren Garthwaite, being a tremendous player for the Lopes, breaking that Division I GCU record last week, and then the week before getting WAC Defensive Player of the Week. And she is only a freshman, but she's started and played every single game for the Lopes, and there's a reason.
As that one going to be passed in the middle, Danny Babb looking for her second score, but a foul is going to be called as that one's going to be offsides, and Chicago State will take over yet again. So Danny Babb has had her fair share of chances after coming away with the score in that 8th minute. Almost came away with her second goal of the game in that 10th minute, which may have gone her way, but there was no call on the play. And then right there, an offsides call gives Chicago State back possession. Anna Whitaker quickly on that one, as that one's going to be deflected back to Cameron Larson. Larson looking for Babb near midfield, but right there is Reber for the interception. Reber looking for Castellanos on the far side of the field. As the Lopes continue, you mentioned the physicality, Montana. The Lopes continuing to put the pressure on Chicago State early on in this one. A nice sweep pass there from Castellanos. Right there is Cameron Larson.
You can see that physicality down there. The Lopes game against Seattle last week was also very physical, leaving a lot of their players injured. Lots of hits of the ball in the face and being tripped up all night.
And Chicago State, again, looking to put the pressure on Lauren Garthwaite. Had their chance there. It looked like Barbara Castellanos inside the box. Unable to execute as this Lopes defense once again all over these Cougars early on. Danny Babb going to find Cameron Larson on the near side by midfield. Larson going to take it up the field. And she looks for Babb on the far side as that one's knocked out of play, but the Lopes will regain possession, so Larson will inbound it.
Looks like some substitutions are going to be made for both teams, as Perry Belzer is going to check out. And Carly Bateman is going to check in.
So Bateman in for the first time in this game as Coach Leader makes his first substitutions, as Whitaker is going to find Danny Babb on the far side, as that one's going to be kicked inside enemy lines, but right there is Reber yet again with the interception. Chicago State just trying to keep the ball on offensive possession here to just give Judith Soribes a little bit of a break. We mentioned the 4 saves already and the 1 score within the first 20 minutes of half number 1, as that one's going to be booted out of play and the Lopes will regain possession.
And we mentioned she has 125 saves on the season, which means so many shots have been taken against her. Her team struggling to defend her.
As the Lopes back to midfield, looking to reset here after a couple of deflections. As Sandra Hill has it on the near side, gonna find Whitaker. Whitaker with the kick down the far side, gonna be deflected by Reber yet again and out of play. So the Lopes looking to re-strategize yet again as Hill will inbound yet again. As that one's going to be quickly deflected, and it looks like Chicago State will take over on offense. Castellanos with great defense there against Cameron Larson. Stevens going to inbound it for the Cougars. And right there on the attack, it looked like Cameron Larson, as the Lopes once again looking to utilize their speed. Danny Babb going to go for another score here, looking to use some fancy footwork against the Cougars 2-on-1 as she's going to have to retreat back in the near side corner. And the pass off is going to be no good as Chicago State right there for the waiting. Lauren Reber going to take it up the field, looking for some separation as she'll get tripped up. And no foul called there. Reber looking for the call, doesn't find it, as that one's going to be booted out of play near midfield. So Chicago State will once again regain possession here on offense, looking for a sizable possession here, as we'll take another look at this no call here, as it looked like Reber tripped up on the play looking for the foul call. Whitaker looking for Sandra Hill on the far side. Pass a little too powerful there as that one's going to go out of play. And Chicago State now in enemy lines here, looking to put the pressure on Lauren Garthwaite for just the second time in this half. Reber looking for some separation again as the physicality shows again. Montana with the Lopes with a 2-on-1 attack. And just like that, they're going to regain possession on offense. Hill goes for the pass in the middle of the field, as that one's going to be kicked down the far side. Danny Babb is not going to be able to outrun that one, as Sorebes will pick that one up. And she'll find Leah Kisvari. Kisvari down the field, looking for Castellanos. Won't find her there, as that one is quickly intercepted by Perry Belzer. Belzer looking for Babb on the far side. Pass intercepted as Chicago State gives it back right away, as Sandra Hill will once again set up at midfield for the Lopes. Finds Larson, as that one's going to be kicked inside the Chicago State box. Lopes looking to do something here, as Larson is going to get it right outside the box. 3-on-1 attack from the Cougars, as she'll find a pass on the far side. Lopes looking for the score, and they're going to come away with it, as just like that, it looks like Danny Babb is going to pick up her second goal of the night, her third collegiate goal overall, as it's been all Danny Babb really here in the first 22 minutes, as the Lopes now lead at 2-0.
Let's take another look here. That is money right there from Danny Babb. What a game for her so far, only being 22 minutes into this one.
Well, something had to give there, as Judith Sorebes was just waiting for the final kill. Danny Babb with the sneak attack at the very last second on the far side goalpost, able to sneak that one in on the left side. As Chicago State, again, looking for a sizable possession here on offense. Reber again looking for some fancy footwork there against Iran Chad, as that foul call is going to go against the Lopes. Only their third foul of the night, but Chicago State will once again get a shot inside enemy lines, as they now trail this one 2-0 on 2 quick goals from Danny Babb here in the first 22.5 minutes. Now has 3 goals in her last 3 home games here in Lope country, as Castellanos looking to reset the Cougars here on offense. We mentioned the lack of success in WAC play for the Cougars as of late. Still looking for their first win, as that one's going to be quickly deflected and into the hands of Lauren Garthwaite, who will come away with her third goal kick. Chicago State looking to put the pressure on at the very last second. Looked like Barbara Castellanos looking to breathe down the neck of Lauren Garthwaite, as she will kick that one away a little past midfield into enemy lines, as Cameron Larson quickly looking to take control, but it's going to be quickly deflected by Chicago State. The Lopes regain possession on offense. We'll see what they do here, as that one's going to be quickly deflected, as the Lopes once again will reset here, as it looks like Lauren Reber talking things over here with the official. So the Lopes deep in enemy lines yet again. Quickly deflected by the Cougars, as the pass is going to be made to Sandra Hill on the near side. Hill going to take a chance, looking for the pass inside the box. Once again deflected by the Cougars, doing a nice job on defense on that last possession. As Castellanos with possession on the far side, looking to utilize her speed here, as the Lopes defense continuing to put the pressure on. Not really giving the Cougars any space to work with here early on. As once again the Lopes looking to utilize their speed, as it looked like Sophia Roberts roughed up on that play, but Sophia Roberts will inbound it for the Lopes.
And roughed up has seemed to be the pattern all night long. There's been a countless number of falls and attacks. Things really physical and only getting worse as it goes on. Looks like some substitutions are going to be made for the Lopes.
And Naya Bonchansky checks into this one for the Lopes. First appearance from Bonchansky tonight here against the Cougars, as the Lopes once again looking to reset on offense at midfield. As that one's going to be passed back to Sandra Hill. Hill doing a nice job at setting things up here on offense tonight, has been able to make some great passes, find some holes here early on for Grand Canyon. And once again, Chicago State not really putting any pressure on here for the Lopes. Lopes utilizing the space that they've been given tremendously here in the first 25 minutes, as that one's going to be kicked to the right side. Cerebes going to come away with her 5th goal kick of the night.
Yeah, Doug, Lauren Garthwaite seems to be just hanging out over there waiting for some action.
As that one's going to be quickly deflected by that Lopes defense yet again, as Hill's going to find Whitaker. Whitaker looking for the pass in midfield. Perry Belzer. As that one's going to be passed on the far side, but not a Lope to be seen. As Cerebes was going to pick that one up, and she'll come away with yet another goal kick as we've reached the 26-minute mark here in Phoenix. Again, a 2-0 Lopes lead, and if you're just joining us, Danny Babb with 2 goals here tonight. She now has 3 collegiate goals on the season, 3 in her career as well. As it's been all Lopes here in the first 26 minutes, not really giving Chicago State anything here offensively. Lauren Garthwaite with just 2 goal kicks to show here tonight after a 16-save performance on Sunday against California Baptist. As Larson looking for the pass down the far side. As Carly Bateman looking to contribute here, as that one's going to be knocked out of play, as Cerebes will kick it away for Chicago State yet again. As we'll see yet another substitution here for the Lopes.
They do say that a 2-0 lead is the hardest thing to keep in soccer, so it's important for the Lopes to stay on their toes and not get comfortable.
And it's going to be Sydney Torres coming into this one for Coach Leader. As Cerebes is waiting for the call here. She'll come away with her 6th goal kick of the night. And again, it's been 2 completely different stories when you look at both defenses. The Lopes are really not giving an inch against the Cougars, not giving them any space to work with, where the Cougars defense has given the Lopes more than enough space to make some plays early on. As you saw it right there, the Lopes not giving an inch yet again, as Sandra Hill once again will set things up on offense. Going to sound like a broken record at this point, only 27.5 minutes into it, but Sandra Hill once again setting things up on offense as the Lopes look to get rolling yet again. And no foul called there, as that one's going to be deflected. Cameron Larson with possession going down the far side of the field. Deep in enemy lines yet again are the Lopes. 2-on-1 attack from the Cougars, as Larson will lose possession. Good defense there from Lauren Reber, able to combat that last offensive possession. But the Lopes looking to take another chance, pass down the middle of the field. It looks like they were looking for Cameron Larson. But right there are the Cougars yet again. Perry Belzer on the far side. He's going to find Bateman. That pass not going to be handled cleanly by Bateman on the near side, as that one's going to be out of play, but Chicago State going to take back over on offense. And I've mentioned it within the first 28 minutes in this one. Chicago State looking to take the pressure off Judith Cerebes, as Lauren Garthwaite has been fresh here within the first half hour, not really seeing much action here, as this Lopes defense has been stellar against Chicago State's offense so far in this one.
Yeah, Lauren has had 0 saves on the night because the ball has not come to her.
Lopes looking to put the pressure on yet again, and right there is Cerebes with the save. Her 5th save of the night is Danny Babb looking for the hat trick here within the first half hour of the night. But Cerebes will kick this one away for her 7th goal kick of the night, back to midfield. As we take another look here, Danny Babb looking for yet another sneak attack, but right there was Cerebes. Chicago State looking to separate themselves. A nice pass to Lauren Reber on the far side. Reber thinking better of it as she'll try to reset here on offense. Again, Chicago State looking for a lengthy run here on offense. They won't find it there. As that one's quickly deflected off of Babb and out of play, so Chicago State once again will regain possession. So this is just what Chicago State needs right now, given Judith Cerebes' workload here in the first 29 minutes. Pass going to be quickly deflected by the Lopes defense yet again, looking to take back over on offense, and they will on the far side. Belzer going to take it up. Looking for Sydney Torres as that pass is deflected. Reber inside the Lopes box, looking for a shot. She won't get it, as the Lopes once again combating the Chicago State Cougar offense, as the Cougars will regain possession, as that one was kicked out of play on the far side near midfield. Reber looking for Castellanos on the near side. Castellanos unable to handle that one. Another 3-on-1 attack for the Lopes, and they're going to take their chance, and almost coming away with the point there was Marissa Beal. Just a little too much height on that one as Chicago State finally put some pressure on Lauren Garthwaite in this one, 30 minutes into the half. But not much Lauren Garthwaite can do on that one as that one just flew over the crossbar. So Garthwaite will come away with yet another goal kick here, trying to set up her offense for another score. Again, the Lopes looking for their 6th lifetime win against the Cougars and their 3rd lifetime here in front of the Havocs, as that one's going to be quickly out of play as Chicago State takes over.
That was a big opportunity for Chicago State, but unable to come away with it.
As Hill looking for the swift kick there, won't find it, but the Lopes will regain possession as they didn't come away with a touch there. So Hill going to inbound it, looking for Larson. 2-on-1 attack. Lopes looking for the hold call there, won't find it, as Bateman looking to contribute yet again. No foul there. It looked like on Lauren Reber yet again. So Reber, again, a little frustrated down there on the field, looking for the foul call, won't find it. Again, only 3 fouls called against the Lopes tonight, 2 against the Cougars, as Reber going to set things up here on offense, finds Castellanos at midfield, and right there are the Lopes. Sydney Torres with the interception, and she'll find Sophia Roberts on the far side. Roberts looking for Torres on the far side as well in Cougars territory, but right there was Reber for the interception, as the Lopes once again looking to set things up on offense as Chicago State continues to give the Lopes some room to work with.
Lopes have done an exhilarating job of keeping possession of the ball in this 32 minutes of this first half.
As Boster looking for Larson. Going to find Bateman on the far side. Bateman with the short pass to Larson inside the box. 2-on-1 attack against Larson. Kimberly Hubert on that attack comes away with the interception. Goes for the pass to Reber. Reber going to find Carmen Acedo. Acedo's looking for Reber down the middle of the field, as that one's going to be out of play. A 2-on-1 attack there against Reber. Just a little too far as the Lopes once again regain possession on offense. As Whitaker going to pass on one down on the far side. Once again, the Lopes with some room to work with here as they look to isolate the clock with about 13 minutes to go here in half number 1, up by 2. As that pass is going to be deflected by Julia Avira, as Avira is going to, looks like she's going to find Annika Stevens at midfield. Stevens is quickly combated there by that Lopes defense yet again, really putting the pressure on. As Reber going to find Castellanos at the top of the key. As Whitaker is going to kick that one back to midfield, finds Larson. Back to Whitaker. Whitaker looking for Sydney Torres deep in Chicago State territory. Won't find her, and once again it looks like Lauren Reber on the attack for Chicago State. She's going to find Castellanos again at midfield. Castellanos looking for a hole, won't find it there. Back to Lauren Reber. Reber back to Castellanos. Castellanos down the middle of the field looking for Marissa Beal. Won't find her there. And now Chicago State has a little bit of room to work with, as that pass is going to be quickly deflected by the Lopes, but a foul is going to be called against the Lopes as we got a Chicago State Cougar injured down on the field.
Looks like she might be trying to regain her breath. She's seems a little toughed up.
And not a good sign here for Chicago State, as it looks like she'll come off the field here.
So not the spot that you want to be in right now if you are Chicago State, down by 2. Half number 1 is almost over, only 10 more minutes of play. They're really going to need to step it up if they're trying to make a difference in their season tonight.
As Lauren Garthwaite will kick this one away yet again for the Lopes, so nothing really seems to be working thus far for Chicago State. Again, still plenty of soccer to be played, and this one's still plenty of soccer to be played in half number 1 with about 11 minutes to go. Sydney Torres quickly deflects that pass from Reber. As once again, this Lopes defense not giving an inch against Chicago State. A 2-on-1 attack here against Castellanos. Castellanos going to find Stevens at the top by midfield, but right there are the Lopes. Sandra Hill going to take it up, utilizing her speed here, looking for Bateman down the far side of the field. Going to look. It looks like Remy Deutsch unable to run that one down as Chicago State will once again take over on offense.
The Lopes have flipped the script since the start of WAC play with almost as many goals for and out of the 5 matches that they have competed in. And only in conference play they had 5 goals in their 10 matches. So things changing up now that we're in WAC play.
Of course, the Lopes looking for their 3rd win in WAC play this season after coming away with 2 wins within the last 2 weeks, as that one's going to be booted out of play, and Chicago State will take over.
Yeah,
nice pass there moments ago from Haley Bostard, unable to keep it in play as Chicago State takes over.
The Lopes are tied in 5th place in WAC standings with CSU, Bakersfield, and New Mexico State, looking to secure their spot for the WAC tournament that's coming up.
Edwards finds Torres. Torres looking for some space, is going to find Bateman, but that pass is going to be quickly intercepted by Chicago State. A wide open hole there for Bateman if that pass was executed. May have resulted in a 3-0 Lopes lead, but Chicago State all over it as Reber looking for Castellanos yet again on the far side. Castellanos going to find Stevens down the middle of the field. Cameron Larson looking for the quick swipe tag there. The swipe interception, won't find it, as that one's going to go back to Stevens. Stevens looking for Castellanos, as that one's passed back to Stevens, back to Reber. Again, another 2-on-1 attack against Reber. The Lopes have done a nice job combating her offense to this point all night. As that's going to be Costa. Costa going to find Alba on the far side. Alba down the middle of the field, looking for Castellanos. Won't find her there. Sydney Torres there with the interception for the Lopes. Torres going to take it herself down the far side of the field, deep in Chicago State territory. Right there is Bostard looking for the pass. And no foul called there yet again, as it's going to go against Chicago State. So Chicago State comes away with their 3rd foul of the night, as the Lopes and the Cougars now have 3 fouls respectively in this one, with about 8 minutes left to go here in half number 1.
Really interesting that only such a low number of fouls being called, as they've been tripped up all night long.
A lot of calls going both ways. A lot of calls not happening at all if you're both Lauren Reber. Reber roughed up a few times here tonight, as it looks like that one's going to be gobbled up by Sabrias, as that one's going to be passed off to Castellanos. So the Lopes continuing to put the pressure on offense, as that one's going to be kicked to the far side. Not a Cougar in sight, as the Lopes are going to quickly just send that one away to Lauren Garthwaite, who will kick it back to midfield. So the story of this first half to this point has been Danny Babb leading the charge for the Lopes offense with 2 scores against Judith Cerebes. Cerebes, of course, with 6 saves already in this one to go with those 2 scores. Chicago State just has not been able to muster anything offensively against this defense, not really putting any pressure on Lauren Garthwaite whatsoever, as that one's going to be passed by Reber back to Castellanos in midfield. Castellanos looking for Aceto. Carmen Aceto is going to go back to Castellanos. That pass going to be quickly deflected by the Lopes. Remy Deutsch going to take it herself up the field. She's got Cameron Larson to her left, but it looks like she'll take it herself. We'll see if Deutsch can come away with the score. Goes to Larson, and Larson's going to come away with the score. So from right outside the box, a very difficult play there from the Lopes, executed beautifully by Cameron Larson as she comes away with her first score of the night. And just like that, the Lopes out to a commanding 3-0 lead over the Cougars.
You can take another look here. Pass to Cameron Larson, and she rockets that one in, buries that with no hesitation, and celebrates with her team down there.
So the Lopes, just like that, out to a commanding 3-0 lead as we have about 6 minutes left to play here in half number 1 against Chicago State. As this offense continues to put the pressure on against Judith Sorebes. Clark checks in for Chicago State, trying to mix something up here on offense as they desperately look for an attack here against Lauren Garthwaite.
So both Danny Babb and Cameron Larson getting their 3rd goal of the season tonight.
As right away, Chicago State back on offense, once again looking to put the pressure on Lauren Garthwaite. You mentioned the score, Montana, Danny Babb and Cameron Larson each coming away with a score here tonight. Both of them came away with scores against Kansas City 2 weeks ago on Thursday night. Again, 2 weeks ago, as that one's going to be deflected by Chicago State. Chicago State has done a nice job putting something together on offense, haven't quite executed their game plan up to this point, as that one's going to be passed by Remy Deutsch. Deutsch going to find Larson on the far side. Larson looking for the pass down the middle of the field, looking for Torres, won't find her there.
Remy Deutsch had that assist just moments ago.
As the Lopes looking for the home run kick yet again right there, but right there is Judith Sorebes. And Sorebes counting down the time here in half number 1, about 4 minutes left to go here for Sorebes and Chicago State. Looking to rebound in half number 2.
Sorebes has to stay on her toes all night long. And Chicago State's defense is struggling.
And another no call there, as it looked like Carmen Aceto got tripped up by Anna Whitaker. As Chicago State looks for the inbound pass. Looks like it's going to be Lauren Reber. Looking for a Sevo, as the Lopes will once again hand it off to Chicago State. So Chicago State with about 3.5 minutes here in half number 1, just looking to put something together, trying to muster something against Lauren Garthwaite, who's basically been a bystander thus far here in the first 41 minutes. Whitaker finds Jessica Wong. Wong looking for Hannah Edwards on the far side. Edwards with the pass on the far corner. The Lopes once again in enemy lines inside the Cougars box, but that one's going to be quickly called against the Lopes. They're going to come away with their 4th foul. And Chicago State regains possession yet again.
Only 3 minutes to go in this first half. Lopes up by 3. In a good spot.
That one's going to be quickly batted down by Torres. Torres looking for someone in black and white. She's going to find Hannah Edwards on the far side. Edwards finds Perry Belzer on the far side. Belzer takes it up to midfield, as that one's going to be quickly deflected. And right there is Sandra Hill going to set things up once again for the Lopes here on offense on the near side. Bateman looking to keep that one in play. She won't. And the Cougars will regain possession as Lauren Reber will once again inbound it for the Cougars. Inbounded to Castellanos. Just desperately trying to keep it away from this Lopes defense, which they have not been able to do successfully to this point tonight. As Torres going to knock that one down for Larson. Larson going to set things up right outside the Cougars box. Torres looking for Bateman on the far side. Bateman looking to run it down. She won't. As that was a nice save there from Barbara Castellanos, able to keep that one out of play. But the Lopes will regain possession on offense. Hill will inbound, as Cameron Larson will take a seat for the remainder of this half. Only a minute and a half to go here in half number 1. Again, it'll be interesting to see how Chicago State rebounds in half number 2 after the short intermission, down by 3 in this one. 2 scores from Danny Babb, and then the one just moments ago from Cameron Larson from the back of the key. As Judith Cerebes will once again send this one away for Chicago State, just desperately trying to get something going here with about a minute and a half to go here in half number 1.
The Cougars are going to need all of half number 2 to really try and recover from this 3-0 deficit.
And about 1 minute to go here in half number 1, as that one's going to be quickly deflected by the Cougars. Cougars looking to separate themselves here for the final 60 seconds. They have themselves some room. Castellanos at midfield is going to be quickly deflected by the Lopes defense yet again. Another 2-on-1 attack from the black and white. Right there is Samara Costa. Costa going to find Reber on the far side. Reber at midfield. Bateman going to deflect that one back into Cougar territory. As the Cougars set up for one last chance here with about 20 seconds to go here in half number 1. Lopes continue to put the pressure on defensively, even up by 3. As that one's going to be blocked away by this Lopes defense again, as Torres going to get a hand on it. Torres quickly stolen away from Marissa Beal. Beal goes up the field looking for Reber again, and the Lopes right on it on defense yet again as they'll kick that one away back into the hands of Cerebes. And that'll do it here in half number 1 as the Lopes out to a commanding 3-0 lead over Chicago State, looking for their 6th win lifetime against the Cougars, as Danny Babb comes away with 2 scores within the first 20 minutes. Then, of course, Cameron Larson coming away with her 3rd goal of the season just moments ago here in the final minutes of the first half. And Montana, you got to like what you see so far here from this Lopes offense, and especially this Lopes defense.
Oh, yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing, Jack, especially as these girls are walking off of this field. They just seem so enthusiastic, and I've never seen them happier going into half number 2. They are in a great spot, and this is where you want to be if you're Coach Leader right now.
And it's been a tale of 2 stories between these 2 defenses thus far. The Lopes defense not really showing any remorse against the Chicago State Cougars, not letting them have any breathing room within these first 45 minutes. And it's been a different story for the Cougars defense, really giving the Lopes some separation, giving them a lot of space to work with. As it has resulted in 3 scores for the Lopes. We mentioned 2 from Danny Babb after coming away with her first collegiate goal 2 weeks ago against Kansas City. That was her first collegiate goal in that 2-1 win over the Roos. And then, of course, 2 scores within the first 20 minutes here tonight. Almost had 3, a couple of non-calls here that we've seen go both ways for both the Cougars and the Lopes. And then, of course, Cameron Larson coming away with her 3rd goal of the season. What do you think we should expect in half number 2?
I think we should expect to see the same thing from the Lopes in half number 2, going into the games feeling confident and with the same type of energy as how they're going to secure this game tonight.
And it is kick or treat night here on campus as we await Halloween here in 2019, as we will await half number 2 here in Phoenix, Arizona. It is the Chicago State Cougars 0, the Grand Canyon University Lopes 3. You're watching GCU Women's Soccer right here on GCU TV.
Hit 'em up, move 'em out. It's a Ranger Roundup sale at Sanderson Ford. 44 Rangers now in the stalls, starting at $28.9. Head on in to Arizona's largest Ford dealership and head out in a new Ford. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
Performance is your profession. You excel in bringing the best out of people. Through leadership and insight, you help others fulfill their promise. You share a unique bond with your family and cherish your time together. But you strive to take the next step in your career. GCU's online degree program in performance psychology will enhance your skills in helping others succeed. Master your craft in an online PhD program that puts innovation and technology at the heart of education. And you can do it all within a tight schedule without disrupting other aspects of your life. With a PhD in performance psychology, you'll have the tools you need to elevate your performance to the next level. When human excellence meets cutting-edge technology, business advances.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it really erupted.
Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they drippin', ice. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin'.
Mountain Dew Ice, a clear, refreshing lemon lime dew.
Back here on GCU TV as we get set for half number 2 between the Lopes and the Cougars. It's been all Lopes so far after half number 1. Tremendous defense from the Lopes, as well as 2 scores from Danny Babb. She now has 3 scores in her collegiate career and on the season. Cameron Larson coming away with the score in the final moments. But Montana, you got to be pleased with the defense to this point.
A tremendous defense from the Lopes. I mean, 3 must be the lucky number tonight. Cameron Larson and Danny Babb now have 3 goals on the season. Really great night for them.
Well, you got to hand it to both Danny Babb and Cameron Larson. To this point, it'll be interesting to see how the women react in half number 2 as the Cougars look to come storming back again. The Lopes looking for their 6th win lifetime against the Cougars as the Cougars look to avoid their 17th loss on the season. As we take a look at the GCU Hotel halftime highlights, and we mention all the defense in this one as the Lopes quickly on the offensive score here, looking for their first score there. They won't find it from Hannah Edwards, but right there was Danny Babb. That's her second goal of the season, as the Lopes came inches away in this one off the goalpost right there. Hannah Edwards looking for her first score of the night, wouldn't find it. Perry Belzer with the pass on the far side, as that one's going to be knocked down just a little bit outside the box, and that was the second score that you thought Danny Babb was going to come away with, as the referees were going to let that one slide. Another potential scoring attempt right here as Danny Babb comes in for the sneak attack at the last moment. That was her second score of the night, and right here is Cameron Larson at the top of the key, finds the back of the net on the near side, as it is a 3-0 Lopes lead. As again, we're just getting started in this one. A lot of soccer to be played.
And a lot of physicality in this matchup between the two teams. We have some highlights of just the physicalness that's been on the field tonight.
As you take another look here, Haley Boster's been roughed up a few times tonight. Right there from Reber. As Jenny Reber, once again, you see right there, Haley Bostard, she got the call on that one, as it's gone both ways for both the Cougars and the Lopes in this one. Only 3 fouls called against each other respectively thus far. A lot more calls that weren't called by the officials that could have resulted in fouls. You don't see it there, as you see Reber once again looking for the foul call there, doesn't find it. As the Cougars continue to be frustrated on offense, it'll be interesting to see how they regroup in half number 2. As you mentioned the brutality in this one between both the sides. We've seen it historically between both sides, as again, the Cougars looking for their first lifetime win against the Lopes here tonight at GCU Soccer Stadium. Here in this women's soccer matchup, we also got women's volleyball going on in the arena right now. A lot of action happening this fall here on campus, as we go to Cheyenne Rose for this week's Lopes Report.
I'm Cheyenne Rose, and this is your week's Lopes Report. Men's golf holds the top team spot in the WAC, leading with 283.6 strokes. Michael Salazar won the Colorado Invitational with a 12 under par 204. Women's volleyball is now tied for second in WAC conference play with Kansas City. They are now 16-4 and 6-2 in conference play. Volleyball traveled to California this week to play Cal Baptist, where they took the match in 5 sets, having a season high of 17 blocks with 3 Lopes having double-digit kills. Women's soccer was home this past Friday, where they took on Seattle U. The Lopes were shut out by the Redhawks 1-0. The Redhawks doubled the Lopes in shots 16-8. The Lopes are now tied for 5th in the WAC standing with CU's Bakersfield. Freshman goalie Lauren Garthwaite had a total of 6 saves for the second straight game in a row. Men's soccer went on the road to play UTRGV. The Lopes outshot the Vaqueros 12-7 with a 7-1 advantage on corner kicks. The game ended in a double overtime draw. George Tesorius had 3 saves on the game and was named WAC Defensive Player of the Week. And congratulations to men's soccer coach Shellis Heidman, who is headed to the United Soccer Coaches Hall of Fame. And another congratulations to tennis coach Greg Prudhomme for getting his doctorate this past week. I'm Cheyenne Rose, and that was your week's Lopes Report.
Thank you, Cheyenne, and a special congratulations to Greg Prudhomme for getting his doctorate degree this past week. A very special moment for him and his family, as men's tennis gets ready for action here this fall, as we get ready for half number 2 here at the GCU Soccer Stadium. A 3-0 lead for the Lopes, as the girls already back out on the field looking for second half action. And Montana, what do you expect to see here in half number 2 from these girls?
I expect to see the same thing that we saw in half number 1 from this team. Really strong offense and defense from both sides of the net. Lopes are looking to come away with their 3rd win in conference play tonight. And they're in a good spot right now going into half number 3. If they're going to bring that same type of mentality and energy, I think they are going to have this one in the bag.
And it'll be interesting to see. We mentioned Greg Prudhomme getting his doctorate degree this past week. And also a special congratulations to Coach Shellis Heidman on getting inducted into the United Soccer Coaches Hall of Fame this past week. A lot of congratulations going out to some GCU coaches this week, as we get set for half number 2 between the Lopes and the Cougars, as you are watching GCU Women's Soccer right here on GCU TV.
I'm Andrea, and I'm earning my PhD online at GCU. Pursuing my PhD online at Grand Canyon University is a huge investment into my future. I'm also learning critical thinking and problem-solving skills that I can apply to every facet of my life. When you are working, going to school, balance is key. I really try to practice what I preach to my students. As an online faculty member, I stress the importance of time management, and I demonstrate that by example. A Christian worldview is important to me in all facets of my life because it is a huge part of who I am. And I want to make sure I'm demonstrating that not only to my students, but to my children. I plant these seeds that when they're older, they're also demonstrating God's love through service. GCU's community is welcoming, whether you attend on campus, online, or in the evening. We are all one big family.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
We needed one more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Here on GCU TV, as once again we get ready for second half action between the Lopes and the Cougars. 3-0 Lopes as we check out the upcoming schedule brought to you by BSN Sports.
And we have got a full weekend of GCU Athletics for you. Men's soccer will take on the Houston Baptist Huskies tomorrow night here at GCU Stadium at 7 p.m. Women's volleyball will face Kansas City at 3 p.m. on Saturday, followed by more men's soccer on Sunday when the Lopes will face up the Roos from Kansas City. You can be sure to catch all of those games right here on GCU TV.
And of course, women's volleyball in action as we speak over at the GCU Arena against Chicago State. They actually came away with the win in that one, a 3-1 match, a victory in 4 sets, taking care of the Cougars over at the arena. So we'll see if the women's soccer team can take care of business here over at the GCU Soccer Stadium, as it looks like we're ready to go here in half number 2 as Coach Leader gathers the women yet again as we take a look at the Canyon State Credit Union's halftime stats. And we mentioned the fouls, not many fouls on either side when there probably could have been way more, 3 respectively on both sides. Of course, the Lopes with the 3 goals. We mentioned 2 from Danny Babb, 1 from Cameron Larson. Total shots is remarkable as you take a look at those stats. Really been the focal point of this game. 16 total shots from GCU compared to the 1 from Chicago State. 11 shots on goal as the Lopes have continued to put the pressure on the Cougars goalkeeper, Judith Cerebes. Cerebes, again, we mentioned with 7 saves to go along with those 3 scores from the Lopes, as it looks like Cameron Larson getting ready to kick this one away for the Lopes as we get ready for half number 2 as the Cougars slowly come back out onto the field. We'll see what their preparation here is after going down 3-0 in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if halftime was beneficial for the Cougars to see if they can try and make a comeback in the second half. They still have 45 minutes of soccer play.
So the Lopes will start on offense as Cameron Larson kicks it away, and we are underway here in half number 2. The Lopes utilizing their speed right off the get-go here as it's going to be Cameron Larson on the far side looking for the quick score. They won't find it there as it's going to be quickly combated by that Chicago State defense and out of play.
Already seeing the same thing that we saw in half number 1, going straight to their goal. Lopes doing a great job of staying on their side.
So we'll see our first corner kick of the night here from the Lopes. Again, up 3-0 in this game, coming away with their first corner kick here. About 45 and a half minutes into this game. As Danny Babb kicks that one deep in enemy territory. As Chicago State doing a nice job defensively, keeping that one out of harm's way. Lopes utilizing their speed yet again here down on the far side of the field as the ball goes out of play. Sophia Roberts looking to utilize her speed as that one's going to be quickly inbounded by the Cougars. Looking to get something going on offense quick, something they weren't able to do in half number 1. Weren't really able to put any pressure against Lauren Garthwaite until about 20 minutes into half number 1. And we'll see our first foul of the half Again, only a minute into this half. We mentioned the 6 fouls combined between both squads so far, as Sophia Roberts has it on the near side. Roberts looking for the pass inside the Cougars box. This is going to be Danny Babb looking for another score, as that one's going to be combated away by Judith Cerebes at the last moment. So Cerebes comes away with save number 8, but the Lopes will get another corner kick.
Lopes looking to find a hole in the box.
So the Lopes with their second corner kick in as many moments, looking for another score, going for the header. Was the Lopes, but a little too much oomph on that one, as that one goes over the goalpost and out of play. As Cerebes will pick it up, and she'll come away with her 9th goal kick. As we take another look at the replay here, the Lopes almost coming away with the score. Looked like Cameron Larson was looking for her second score in as many minutes. Doesn't come away with it there.
And just like in half number 1, the Lopes wasting no time in the first 10 minutes.
As that one's going to be quickly taken up the field by Chicago State, looking to utilize their speed. Lauren Reber, again, looking for the quick kill, but right there for the stopping was Lauren Garthwaite, as Reber continues to put the pressure on late. The one in Soul Havoc out there in the Havoc section, as that one's going to be quickly combated away by that Chicago State defense yet again. But again, just like in half number 1, we're seeing the Lopes really breathing down the necks of that Chicago State offense. As another foul, the Lopes will regain possession. Looking for another quick score. It's going to be Emma Anderson as time is called. Emma Anderson, of course, got off to a hot start this season in Stetson, coming away with the game-winning goal on opening night for the Lopes' first win of the season, and coming away with the Lopes' first goal of the season here at home in that first series. But has since cooled down, as this one's going to be kicked away. Another foul going against the Lopes. That's their 5th. As Cerebes kicks that one back to midfield, as that one ricocheted off of Emma Anderson, and the Lopes will regain possession. So 3 quick fouls between Chicago State and GCU here in the first 2 minutes of half number 2. As Hannah Edwards kicks this one away, looking for the deep pass back to Emma Anderson on the far side. Anderson looking for Larson, back to Anderson. Anderson looking for Babb, as Larson is going to come away with her second goal of the night. So just like that, what looked like a lost opportunity, the Lopes make the most of it. And Cameron Larson comes away with her second goal of the night. So Danny Babb with 2 goals, Cameron Larson with 2 scores as well. She now has 4 on the season, and the Lopes really jumping all over these Cougars. It's 4-0 here in Phoenix.
You can see another look there from our goal cam. Lucky night for Cameron Larson. 2 goals in 1 game, along with teammate Danny Babb. Also 2 goals in just this 1 game. The Lopes are up by 4. This is the highest lead that they have had all season long. They're really benefiting from this match against Chicago State tonight.
As again, Chicago State's defense has just not been able to put the nail in the coffin when it comes to these Lopes scores. Really putting the pressure on the Lopes offense late in their own box. But the Lopes continue to fight and have just been able to come away with scores, timely scores when they needed them. Again, now up to a 4-0 lead as they quickly regain possession on offense. Emma Anderson slows things down, looks for the pass on the far side. A beautiful pass from the Lopes freshman as the Lopes looking for another potential score, but right there are the Cougars for the save. But a great pass there from the Lopes freshman, Emma Anderson, across the field. And Chicago State once again desperately looking to start something now, down by 4. Again, still a lot of soccer to be played in this second half. They can't waste any time at this point, as Sophia Roberts will inbound it for the Lopes. As she'll find Cameron Larson on the near side, and right there are the Cougars. It looks like Reber looking for the interception, putting the pressure on Larson, and Larson taking a shot right there, a big swing and a miss, as Judith Cerebes right there for the save. As Cameron Larson not holding anything back on that last attempt, looking for the hat trick here. And it looked like Danny Babb was going to get the hat trick in this one early on when the Lopes were up 2-0. And now she's got herself some competition. Cameron Larson looking for her first hat trick of the season. As the Lopes once again quickly rebound on offense, Sandra Hill is going to find Bostard on the far side. Emma Anderson with a lot of room to work with. 3-on-1 attack. Anderson's going to take a chance And that one just a little too high over the crossbar, and Sarabis will kick it away.
Emma Anderson also looking for her 3rd goal of the season tonight. Cameron Larson is now in the lead of her team for 4 goals throughout this season. Danny Babb behind her with 3, Emma Anderson with 2, JC Ironshad also with 2.
And this game, of course, far from over. The Lopes still have a lot of work to do defensively to keep this game at bay against Chicago State. As, again, they quickly rebound on offense yet again. That one's going to be quickly deflected by the Cougars. Lauren Reber, been a big offensive contributor for Chicago State, finding some holes, very, very brief holes so far in this one for Chicago State. She has 1 shot on goal in this one. Barbara Castellanos contributing in a big way as well, setting up that offense for the Cougars when they do have offensive possession. But we haven't seen it much tonight as, again, this Lopes defense has been breathing down the necks of these Cougars all night long. As they continue to do so here, Haley Bostard on Lauren Reber there, as that one's going to be quickly intercepted by the Lopes. As Bostard going to take it up the field in enemy territory. JC Ironshad looking for the pass, doesn't find it there, but right there is Bostard. Bostard going to find Sophia Roberts on the near side of the field, who's going to pass it down to Bonchansky. Bonchansky going to find Roberts in the corner. Roberts going to take a chance, goes for the pass down the middle of the field inside the box, as that one's going to be deflected again. Ironshad going to take a chance as well, as that one's deflected. Babb going for the hat trick, and she will find it. Danny Babb with the hat trick, and it's 5-0 Lopes as the Lopes continue to pick apart this Chicago State defense. The 5th score allowed against Judith Sarabis, as GCU Soccer Stadium has come unglued here on this Thursday night.
You can take another look here. Danny Babb, what a night for her. I love to see the excitement on her teammates' faces, running and hugging her. Getting that hat trick tonight.
So 3 scores now for Danny Babb. Now with 4 in her career, 4 on the season, as the Cougars have really pinned their backs against the wall in this one, 52 minutes into this game. About 38 minutes left to play, but a 5-0 Lopes lead as they continue to put the pressure on Judith Sarabis, who just kicks that one away back deep into enemy lines. But right there are the white and black. Sophia Roberts setting things up on offense yet again. Bonchansky down the field. Bonchansky a 3-on-1 attack. Reber looking to put the pressure on. Bonchansky's going to be tripped up at the last second. No foul called. But the Lopes will look to regain possession on offense here. Does not appear to be, as Judith Sarabis going to kick this one away for Chicago State. And again, no time to waste here if you're Chicago State, down by 5. Again, still plenty of soccer to be played, so they do have time to mount a comeback in this one, though it seems unlikely at this point. As Sarabis goes with the short pass to Reber on the far side. Reber back to Sarabis.
And Chicago State ranks at the bottom of all offensive categories in the WAC. The 60 goals allowed are the most in the conference and the 2nd highest in the NCAA, who has allowed 77 of Alcorn State.
As Castellanos looking for the pass down the middle of the field. This Lopes defense continues to be relentless. Even though we're up 5-0 in this game, as that one's going to be quickly taken away, and the Lopes will once again regain possession on offense. A lot of room to work with here for Sophia Roberts, looking for the pass down the middle of the field, as Bonchansky looking to use some fancy footwork as well. Goes with the outside pass to Roberts. Roberts taking her shot here as the Lopes look for the header. Won't find it there. They're looking for another score. Had a chance there. The Chicago State defense continues to step up there. We'll see if they were able to put the nail in the coffin on that drive. It looks like they were, as they'll take it back to midfield. But once again, the Chicago defense being very shaky here in the second half. And just like that, Cameron Larson with the steal, putting the Lopes back on offense. But Lauren Reber putting a quick halt to that offensive possession as she'll take it back to midfield. Hubert is going to find Reber at midfield, looking to keep the ball in play. And Right there are the Lopes. Sophia Roberts takes it up again. Roberts going to find Bonchonsky. Bonchonsky down the far side of the field, looking for the deep pass to Babb, looking to keep that one in play, and she will. Finds Bonchonsky. Bonchonsky going to take her shot as that one's just a little too high over the crossbar and out of play. But Naya Bonchonsky looking for her first score of the night. Came inches away, just a little too much oomph on that last attempt as the Lopes remain with their 5-0 lead. And Sarabes will kick it away.
It looks like we're going to have a change in goalkeepers. Lauren Garthwaite is actually going to check out and give her teammate some playing time. Kayla King is now on the goal for the Lopes. Love to see her get some playing time tonight. It's her first playing time all season.
That one's booted out of play as Sophia Roberts will take over. And you mentioned Montana. Kayla King with her first appearance this season. It couldn't have come at a more timely manner for Coach Leader and his offense. Up by 5. The offense has been able to find some holes and have obviously connected when it mattered the most. Up by 5 in this game. Still plenty of time to be played, but Lauren Garthwaite now with much action so far here tonight. So Kayla King getting some action. We mentioned the depth all season long for Coach Leader. Finally starting to utilize it here tonight, giving Lauren Garthwaite a much-needed rest after that performance on Sunday. Lopes lose 3-0 against California Baptist, but Lauren Garthwaite comes away with 16 saves in that game. You got to think if Lauren Garthwaite comes away with 9 or 10 saves in that game, that's a great game for her, but the Lopes still lose that game 8 or 9-0. So you got to hand it to Lauren Garthwaite against California Baptist, as that one is going to be quickly deflected by Chicago State yet again.
And you mentioned those 16 saves, but Lauren Garthwaite suffered a dislocated thumb during the warm-ups and a broken thumb during the game, so she's still looking to recover. Makes sense why Kayla King is now in her spot.
As it looked like Sydney Torres looking for the sneak attack there against Sarabes. Sarabes able to boot that one away. And obviously a great decision there from Coach Derek Leader, given the injuries to Lauren Garthwaite, giving her a little bit more time before they finish out the rest of their in-conference schedule.
Yeah, they're going to need her during the WAC tournament.
And of course, after tonight against Chicago State, a big matchup against Utah Valley up in Orem, Utah on Saturday before they travel to Bakersfield, or they'll be here in Bakersfield next Saturday before the WAC tournament in Seattle. Chicago State finally getting the ball deep in Lopes territory. The first time in this half that we've seen the Cougars get the ball in Lopes territory, but it's going to be quickly stolen away by Sophia Roberts. Roberts going to take it up the field. Again, plenty of room to work with as she looks for Bonchonsky down the far side. Pass going to be deflected by Reber again. Reber going to take it up the field.
And this game is really what the girls needed to secure their spot in the WAC tournament. They're going to need to move higher in the WAC standings to be able to be eligible to compete at that.
Pass down the middle of the field, looks like a Sevo. As that one's going to be booted away to Castellanos. Castellanos looking to reset here on offense yet again for the Cougars. Lopes have laid off just a little bit on defense after going up by 5. But once again, another 3-on-1 attack there as Sophia Roberts will set things up on offense yet again, wasting no time down the far side of the middle of the field. As Remy Deutsch going to kick that one away. Sarabes going to kick this one away for her 15th goal kick of the night. As she'll pop that one up near midfield, and right there is Remy Deutsch. Quickly giving the Lopes possession, and it looks like they're going to go for the quick kill, but right there for the taking was Judith Sarabes. It looked like Naya Bonchonsky again looking for her first score of the night, has had a few key opportunities in these last few minutes. As Sarabes now has 8 saves on the night to go with those 5 scores. And you got to think this is a nice warm-up for both Utah Valley and CSU Bakersfield upcoming for the Lopes. Again, just 2 more home games if you count tonight's game against the Cougars. That final home game coming next Saturday against Bakersfield, as that one's kicked right into the Lopes bench.
That one is coming straight for them. They all ducked.
Luckily, nobody got hit, as Sophia Roberts will once again inbound this one, as Sydney Torres is going to check in for the Lopes, as JC Ironshad will take a seat for the moment, up by 5. Would be smart here for Coach Leader to utilize some of that depth. We mentioned 14 freshmen at the start of this season. Up by 5, you don't want anybody getting hurt in a game like this, with just 2 games remaining before that trip to Seattle for the WAC tournament.
Yeah, 14 new players, and tonight is the perfect night for those girls to get some playing time and get their chance to compete for the Lopes.
As that one's going to be inbounded and quickly snatched by Chicago State, as they'll kick that one back to midfield and out of play. So the Lopes will once again inbound it here right around midfield, right in front of the Havoc section. As Sophia Roberts will finally take a seat in this one, has performed tremendously, setting things up on offense so far here in the first 15 minutes of half number 2.
Logan Van Dyne is going to check in for the Lopes squad.
As that one is going to be quickly booted away by Cerebus. And just like that, Sydney Torres on the rebound. Lopes quickly taking back possession yet again. It's been the same song and dance all night, as the Lopes once again looking for another opportunity to score, but quickly combated from Lauren Reber. Reber really doing as much as she can in this one, trying to keep this game afloat, down by 5. You mentioned the rough pass for Chicago State coming into this one 0-16, looking to change their history here tonight.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, they haven't won a Division I game since 2014. It's been 5 years, so tough night. Tough season for the Chicago Cougars.
So Cerebes will once again kick this one away. She'll throw it back to midfield. Finds Reber on the far side. I think that's Castellanos, with Logan Van Dyne covering. Back to Reber. Again, the Lopes putting a little bit of pressure on Chicago State, even up by 5. Just continuing to put the pressure on as that one's kicked back to midfield. Lopes have done a nice job all night, as that one's going to be called against the Lopes. It looks like that one is going to go against Jessica Wong, so Wong's going to come away with her first foul of the night. Only the 4th foul of the night for the Lopes, the first in this second half.
Jessica Wong, sister of Jake Wong, who played baseball here and is now drafted by the San Francisco Giants. They both rep the same number, 24, something special in their family.
Jake, of course, completing his first season in Class A ball in the San Francisco Giants organization. As Jessica Wong probably going to get a lot of playing time here in these final 25 minutes or so, with her team up by 5, as she heads that one away. Lopes quickly on the rebound here offensively, as that one's going to be kicked right back to Castellanos. Castellanos looking for Annika Stevens on the far side, but right there is, it looks like Sandra Hill, and she'll let that one go, as the Lopes will regain possession on offense yet again. And at this point, up by 5, you got to think that the Lopes' offensive strategy is just going to be to isolate the clock with about 25 minutes left to go, as this one's going to be kicked away by Kayla King. Of course, just like Lauren Garthway, Kayla King has not had much action since entering this one tonight, as Chicago State has just failed to put the pressure on the Lopes goalkeepers to this point. But Reber's going to quickly inbound this one. It looks like she'll hand it off to Marissa Beal.
Lopes are looking to get their 3rd shutout tonight.
So Kimberly Hubert inbounds that one. Going to be quickly booted out of play. The Lopes looking to regain possession. Nice defense from Sydney Torres. Able to give the Lopes back possession, as Kayla King will once again come away with her 2nd goal kick of the night.
The Lopes' first shutout was against Stenson for their season opener in Florida, and their 2nd shutout came against the Kansas City Roos here on October 10th, Pink Out Night, a couple weeks back.
And of course, that was a game where Danny Babb came away with her first collegiate goal. Now here we are 2 weeks later, comes away with her first career hat trick. So add 3 more goals on top of that as another foul goes against Chicago State. They come away with foul number 7 in this one, as that one's going to be quickly deflected by the Cougars. Again, the Cougars looking desperately to find something on offense here against Kayla King, late down by 5. Again, 25 minutes left to go in this game, as Castellanos looking for the home run kick from nearly midfield, as King's going to knock that one down. Putting the pressure on was Kisvari there, unable to run down King.
Quick throw in there.
Bonchonsky looking to snatch that pass away as that one goes through her legs and out of play. So Chicago State will once again go back on defense here, as Sandra Hill will inbound things for the Lopes. Looking for score number 6 here tonight, as they continue to put the pressure on Judith Sorebes. I mentioned Sorebes with 11 saves to go along with those 5 scores here tonight. And you mentioned the brutality in this one. Another foul going to go against the Cougars, and the Lopes will reset on offense again.
Looks like it's going to be their 8th foul of the night, while GCU only has 4. GCU has had 28 shots taken throughout this matchup, while the Cougars have only had 2.
Definitely the tale of 2 stories, both offensively and defensively. And this one, as the Lopes have just overmatched the Cougars, as Tyler Ferguson inbounds that one. Bateman.
Ooh, it looks like a kick to the face there. That one not feeling good.
As the Lopes are not going to be able to keep that one in play, as they let that one roll out of play. So Tyler Ferguson will hand this one off to Kayla King. King again coming with her 3rd goal kick of the night. Hasn't seen too much action to this point since taking over for Lauren Garthway within the first 10 minutes of this half. Remember, Lauren Garthway coming away with a few injuries on this last road trip, as Coach Leader giving her some time to rest here, up by 5. Again, 2 big matchups coming before they take that trip out to Seattle, Washington for the WAC tournament. I mentioned next Saturday here at GCU Soccer Stadium against CSU Bakersfield, but a big matchup on the road up in Utah against Utah Valley during the week. Chicago State desperately trying to get something going in Lopes territory. Pass down the middle of the field to Bonchonsky. Bonchonsky is going to find Sandra Hill on the far side. Hill's done a nice job setting up some offensive plays here tonight, as it looks like it's going to be Remy Deutsch. Remy Deutsch looking to make something happen, as that one's going to be deflected by the Cougars yet again. Again, looking for some space here, as it looks like Barbara Castellanos, looking for the deep pass down the field, looking for Reber, as Kayla King is going to see some action. She'll throw that one away back to Hill, and Hill will set things up on offense yet again. The Lopes continue to just isolate the clock here with about 20 minutes to go. Just over 20 minutes to go, as Remy Deutsch looking for some separation yet again. Lopes looking for their 6th score right here, deep in enemy lines yet again. Bateman looking to make something happen. Right there is Sorebes. Sorebes comes away with yet another save as she throws that one away.
Looks like some of the havocs from the volleyball match has come and joined this soccer stadium.
And of course, the Lopes coming away with the 3-1 win over Chicago State over at the arena, ended moments ago.
Trying to make it a double takedown of Chicago State tonight. Volleyball and soccer. Let's see if they can do it. I'm feeling pretty confident. How about you, Jack?
Up 5-0 with about 20 minutes left to go. I like their chances, but still a lot of soccer to be played in this one, as that one's going to be passed down the middle of the field by Reber. Reber looking for Castellanos yet again, but it's going to be quickly deflected by the defense for the Lopes yet again, who have really been the stepping stone in this one. You can talk about the offense from both Danny Babb and Cameron Larson, but this Lopes defense has been all over this Chicago State offense, completely annihilating them from minute 1. As that one's quickly inbounded, Reber, again a 2-on-1 attack, no foul called there against the Lopes. A foul will be called as Chicago State will regain possession on offense. Reber finds Castellanos. Castellanos defended by Jessica Wong. Annika Stevens looks for the pass down the far side of the field. That's Marissa Beal. Beal looking for Castellanos late there as we're going to get a timeout here. It looks like Lope was roughed up on the play. She seems ready to go, though, as she talks things over with the official.
And roughed up has been the pattern throughout the past 3 matches the teams have played. I mean, Friday's match against Seattle U at home was super brutal. Lots of injuries coming away, and then like we mentioned, Sunday their starters not even being able to play because of the brutality that they faced on Friday. And then the last time that these two teams played up against each other, more injuries, and you can tell both these teams are really aggressive and really physical on the field like they have been all night long.
Has not benefited the Cougars to this point, 70 minutes into the game, however, down by 5 as they came away right there with, I believe, their 8th foul, as that one's going to be kicked away and out of play.
Down by 5 and also in a 5 deficit every time the Lopes have played them, all 5 times being defeated.
As it looks like the senior Andrea Martinez going to check into this one for the first time for Coach Leader. We'll see if Andrea Martinez could get involved as Sydney Torres going to take a seat. Sandra Hill will also take a seat in this one for the final 20 minutes. We'll see if we see Sandra one more time in this one as Cerebes going to kick this one away. Looks like she'll go with a short pass. Finds Barbara Castellanos on the far side. Castellanos looking for Reber, won't find her there, as that pass is going to be quickly intercepted by the Lopes defense yet again. Tyler Ferguson looking to set things up here on offense for the Lopes as they just continue to waste time on that game clock. 71 minutes and 17 seconds and counting here in Phoenix as that one once again combated away. Lopes separating themselves on offense. Cougars continue to play strong on defense there as that was Marissa Beal putting the pressure on Tyler Ferguson, but that pass is going to be inbounds. A nice job there from Remy Deutsch, able to keep that one in play as Chicago State knocks it out of play. So a quick inbound pass here from Bonchansky. Bonchansky finds Andrea Martinez, back to Bonchansky. As she finds Remy Deutsch on the near side. Deutsch having a tough time combating Annika Stevens down there in the corners. That one's going to be booted out of play. 72 minutes in this one, 18 minutes remaining in this game. It has been all Lopes so far in this one. If you're just joining us, again, this Lopes defense has done a tremendous job against Chicago State to the point where Kayla King has entered this game defensively as the goalkeeper for the Lopes. Coach Leader deciding to take Lauren Garthwaite out of this one with about 10 minutes in the second half as the Lopes, again, with 2 scores already in the second half, both coming, or one coming from Danny Babb, one coming from Cameron Larson. Larson with 2 scores, Danny Babb with the hat trick as Jessica Wong back to midfield. Passes it down the far side by midfield. Andrea Martinez gets a touch as they go back to Wong. Wong finds Ferguson. Ferguson finds Alexis Worley. Bonchansky. Back to Martinez. Martinez with the touch. Lopes back deep in enemy lines looking for another score. They came inches away once again as that one hits the top of the crossbar. Another huge break from Judith Cerebes as she is able to come away with the save there. But the Lopes unable to keep that one in play. Bonchansky trying her best as Chicago State will take over yet again on offense. But even up 5-0, the Lopes continue to put the pressure on here. Again, off the top of the crossbar, nothing that Judith Cerebes could do about that one as she dodges another major bullet there. But again, up by 5. There's really no room for more error if you're Chicago State.
Lots of Lopes looking to get up in the statistical side tonight.
So Lauren Reber gonna inbound this one. Again, Chicago State just desperately trying to do something on offense here, even down by 5, about 15 minutes left to go, as the Lopes look to come away with their 3rd home win of the season. So that one out of play yet again, and another substitution here for the Lopes as Jessica Wong will check out. So Coach Leader continues to utilize that depth. I got a chance to talk to Coach Leader a couple times during the duration of the season. Talks about those 14 freshmen, a completely new team, as he's been able to utilize that depth so far here tonight. We've seen Kayla King, first time this season, getting a chance in front of the net. We've seen Nia Bonchonsky come away with some big plays here tonight.
And these freshmen are growing together, and being only freshmen, they're going to get better as time goes on. I'm looking to see what they're going to do in their senior season. If they all stick together for these 4 years, they're going to be a really strong team.
It'll be interesting to see if they do stay together all 4 years. We mentioned Danny Babb back for her 2nd year as a redshirt freshman, only played in 2 games last year. We mentioned that torn ACL injury from a year ago, as Kayla King gobbles that one up. She'll kick it away yet again for her 4th goal kick of the night. And Danny Babb rebounding in a big way late in this season. Was not eligible to play until the 3rd game this season. Her and Sophia Roberts returning at the same time from injury, and Danny Babb making her presence felt 2 weeks ago with her first collegiate goal during that pink out against Kansas City, as we have another injured Cougar down there on the field. And then, of course, Danny Babb with the hat trick here tonight, her first hat trick of her career, as the Lopes again pouncing all over the Cougars 5-0, as it looks like that's Annika Stevens limping off the field. Looks like they're going to take her out down by 5 and 15 minutes to go. Again, both teams not wanting to mess with any injuries so far in this one, so any injuries out there on the field, they're going to be taken out. If they haven't been taken out already, again, we mentioned the depth from the Lopes. Coach Leader able to utilize some of his non-starters in this one, up by 5, resting them for Utah Valley and CSU Bakersfield before the tournament in Seattle. As we'll see a few more substitutions from Chicago State. It looks like Samara Costa and Carmen Aceto going to check back into this one for the Cougars, as Kayla King with the short pass down the middle of the field. Lopes again looking to make something work here. Noah Johnson checking into this one for Coach Leader, as she finds the pass down the middle of the field to Nia Bonchonsky. Bonchonsky's got a huge hole here. She'll take it up the middle of the field, utilizing her speed yet again. Remy Deutsch, again, another big offensive contribution so far here in this second half, making some plays for the Lopes, getting a lot of playing time here in the second half. As once again, Judith Sarabis going to kick this one away for the Cougars. And if anybody has worked defensively so far here tonight for the Cougars, it has been their goalkeeper, Judith Sarabis, with those 11 saves to go with those 5 scores. Has had a rough night defensively despite those 11 saves, but her defense hasn't really given her too much room to work with, as the Lopes just continue to put the pressure on Sarabis, as they will once again here. It looks like Alexis Worley going to take her chance there, and Sarabis is there for the save. So the 12th save of the night for Sarabis, as she'll kick this one away with about 13 minutes left to go here in half number 2 on this Thursday night in Phoenix.
Dangerous save there, really close one. Can take another look. Almost getting past the Cougars goalkeeper.
As the Lopes once again just biding their time here, isolating the clock with 13 minutes left to go. And again, it's been the same story all night for this Cougars defense, really giving the Lopes a ton of space to work with, whereas this Lopes defense continues to put the pressure on Chicago State, even up by 5 with a little under 12 minutes left to go in this one, as the Lopes once again back deep into Chicago State territory. Andrea Martinez looking to make something happen as that pass is quickly deflected by Reber. No foul called there as that one's going to be quickly stolen away by Raquel Hagar. As the pass down the far side of the field, and the foul is going to go against the Lopes there. They're going to come away with their 5th foul as Sorabes will kick it away once again for the Cougars. Short pass to Castellanos. Castellanos back to Sorabes. Annika Stevens to Kimberly Hubert. Back to Reber. Reber back to Castellanos. Reber's going to find Kimberly Hubert on the near side. And right there is Bonchonsky looking to put the pressure on yet again. And right there is that Lopes defense able to knock that one out of play. So the Lopes will recover on offense yet again and even up by 5, giving Chicago State some room to work with here. Not really putting the pressure on as much as they did in the first half, up by 5. Chicago State continues to not be able to execute offensively as Castellanos down the middle of the field. 2-on-1 attack here as both Ferguson and Hagar honor. And another deflection there from the Lopes.
About 10 more minutes left in this matchup. Not the place you want to be in if you're Chicago State.
And they've definitely had their chances here in this second half as the Lopes looking for score number 6. Pass off to Bonchonsky right in front of Judith Sorabes, but that one was deflected at the last moment from Castellanos.
When you look at the statistics, it's pretty crazy. GCU having 29 shots on the night while the Cougars only having 2.
It's not what you want if you're the Cougars at this point. Again, 10 minutes into this game. I mean, 19-2, that tells the entire story in this one. As the Lopes have had way more opportunities inside the net, as that one's going to be quickly deflected by Judith Sorabes all over that corner kick from the Lopes. Only the 4th corner kick of the night from the Lopes. We haven't seen any corner kicks from Chicago State. Again, really have not put any pressure whatsoever on both Lauren Garthwaite and Kayla King. As they quickly get the ball on offense, looking for some room up the middle, but right there is that Lopes defense yet again, really solidifying that 2-on-1 attack. As Noah Johnson once again on the attack there for the Lopes. Back up the middle for Noah Johnson as she makes the pass down the middle of the field. Once again, Chicago State not really putting any pressure on whatsoever with about 8.5 minutes left to go. And again, if you're just joining us, a 5-0 lead for the Lopes. They've dominated this game through and throughout with their defense against Chicago State. Not really putting any pressure whatsoever. Only one goal attempt thus far for Chicago State's offense. No saves on the night for Lauren Garthwaite, who was replaced by Kayla King. After once again going up by 5-0, Coach Leader giving his starting goalkeeper some rest here with King making her first appearance on the season. And of course, Danny Babb with 3 goals tonight for the hat trick to go along with Cameron Larson's 2 goals tonight. Larson now has 3 on the season, Danny Babb with 4 on the season. As that one, another substitution here for the Lopes as Coach Leader continues to utilize that depth. Again, at this point in the game with 6 minutes to go, you got to think he's going to utilize everybody. Everybody's going to get a chance to play here as that one's going to be quickly combated by Castellanos. Again, looking to put the pressure on King. King's going to gobble that one up, and she'll kick it away.
It looks like the Chicago State volleyball girls have arrived at the soccer stadium to support their fellow Cougars.
And they got to like what they see on the scoreboard as well, up 5-0, coming away with their 3-1 win over the Cougars moments ago in the GCU Arena. Inbounded once again from the Cougars, but going to be quickly deflected. It looks like it was off Noah Johnson, so quickly inbounding this one will be Castellanos. Again, Barbara Castellanos and Lauren Reber, big contributors here in this one for Chicago State. As that one's going to be quickly deflected by this Lopes defense. Again, not really giving Chicago State any room to work with inside the Lopes box. Their first real opportunity against Kayla King in this half with about 7 minutes to go as King goes with the short kick on the far side.
You got to be feeling good right now if you're Coach Derek Leader. This is one of the best games that the girls have played this entire season. I mean, 2 different players making goals.
And Chicago State looking for one last ditch effort here late, looking for some room was Castellanos. Pass to Costa. Cami Vanderwalt making her first appearance in this one. Gets the pass off, quickly deflected yet again by the Lopes. As the pass goes back to midfield, Andrea Martinez looking to make something happen. Fancy footwork there from the Lopes senior as she passes it off on the far side. Again, the Lopes continuing to show why they've been so successful tonight as that one's going to be batted down by Sarabes. Taking another chance from way outside the box were the Lopes. Again, up by 5, no harm, no foul. But again, they continue to show why they've been so successful on offense tonight, finding some holes, using some fancy footwork in this one, and really just been able to separate themselves from Chicago State, where Chicago State has ran into a brick wall every single time they've tried to put something together on offense. As that one's going to be quickly knocked down from Noah Johnson. Johnson with the quick steal there. There's Lauren Reber. Reber, again, just trying to put Chicago State on the board at this point. 5 minutes left to go in this one. The Lopes once again able to steal that one on offense. Alexis Worley taking it up midfield. Has plenty of room to work with as she'll pass that one down the far side of the field. And running that one down is Judith Sarabes. As Naya Bonchansky, again, has been a big contributor on this offense in half number 2. Had 2 shots on goal within the first 15 minutes. Looked for another opportunity there, but the pass there was just a little too strong as that one goes out of play. And Kayla King will kick it away again. So again, about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in half number 2. It has been all Lopes here tonight over the Cougars, both in women's volleyball and here in the GCU Soccer Stadium for women's soccer, as the Lopes look to come away with their 3rd WAC win of the year. They'll go to 500 on the season. Came into this one 2-3 as Bonchansky looking to make a name for herself here, as that one's going to be deflected. And again, she came inches away from coming away with her first score, her 3rd shot on goal here tonight, as that one was deflected. It looked like Lauren Reber at the last second, so Bonchansky once again failing to come away with the point despite great offensive plays here in the second half.
You can take another look here. Speed right there, and then going just outside. Making it known that they're still in this regardless of 4 minutes left in this matchup.
The Lopes have continued to put the pressure on regardless, as that one's going to be deflected and booted away. Looked like by Annika Stevens there at the last second. So Chicago State doing another nice job defensively. Just trying not to open up the floodgates at this point, as the Lopes once again looking to put the pressure on. Quickly deflected there, looked like by Kimberly Hubert. As the pass from Raquel Hagar is going to go on the far side by midfield. Again, you could look at this 2 game from or you can look at this game from two different perspectives. The Lopes defense just has been all over this Cougars offense straight off the bat, as they've really given them no room to work with. And of course, at the 8-minute mark, Danny Babb coming away with the first score of the night to put the Lopes up 1-0. And then, of course, coming away with her second goal of the night within the 20-minute mark to make it 2-0 Lopes. And within the final 10 minutes, Cameron Larson putting the Lopes up 3-0. Going into half number 2, a 3-0 score here at the half. We were going to be interested to see how Chicago State was able to come out in the second half after a nightmare start in half number 1. It's kind of been more of the same, as the Lopes have put up 2 more scores and familiar faces as well, with both Cameron Larson coming away with the score within the first 5 minutes and Danny Babb coming away with the hat trick. And you're always going to look back at that one goal that could have been within the first 10 minutes that would have given Danny Babb 4 scores on the night, which would have been the golden sombrero. But I'm sure she'll be happy with the hat trick as well, as that one's going to be combated once again by Chicago State. Again, just trying to get something together here on offense, as that one's going to be gobbled up once again from Kayla King, as the Lopes continue to isolate that game clock, as we have about 1 minute to go, 60 seconds here in half number 2. As that one's kicked on the far side. Chicago State once again all over that one. You mentioned the fouls in this game, the physicality, a factor in this one, as the Lopes looking for one last score. The senior Andrea Martinez is looking to get in on the fun. Won't happen there. 14 fouls combined from both Chicago State and the Lopes, as one more save for Cerebes with about 20 seconds left to go in this one. Of course, 8 fouls from Chicago State, 6 from GCU. Again, 5 fouls in the second half from Chicago State, so their defense worsened after half number 1, which did not give them any benefits, as the Lopes, again, with 5 seconds left to go, looking to just put the game away at this point. Chicago State fighting till the very last second here. As that's it, the Lopes are going to come away with a 5-0 victory here at home. They now advance to 3-3 in WAC conference play as they move to 500 on the season, and a win that many expected here tonight as the Lopes look to rebound after a tough weekend against Seattle with a 1-0 loss last Friday night here, and then a 3-0 loss against California Baptist. And you mentioned the 16 saves from Lauren Garthwaite in that game. Really did not have much to work with here tonight, as this Lopes defense was all over Chicago State from the start, not to mention the offense from both Danny Babb and Cameron Larson.
Really great win here tonight from Coach Derek Leader and his Lopes squad. I mean, you have to be impressed. 5-0 score, not something you usually see in soccer. Danny Babb getting that hat trick, and then Cameron Larson scoring 2 more goals in one game, making her have 4 on the season, tied with teammate Danny Babb. I mean, tonight is their night, was one of the keys to the game tonight, and that just showed the score speaks volumes for itself. And I know that the girls are going home really happy tonight.
And a lot of factors played into this win. You could talk about the defense all over that Chicago State offense. Of course, Cameron Larson with her 2 goals. But today's GCU Golf Course player of the game is, in fact, Danny Babb. 3 scores. We mentioned the first one coming within the first 8 minutes of this one. The second coming within the first 20 minutes. Comes away with her 3rd goal, the hat trick in half number 2. And like I just mentioned moments ago, you could have argued that one goal that wasn't called within the first 10 minutes in half number 1 could have been her second of the game at the point. Would have finished with 4, would have gotten the golden sombrero, but again, she'll probably settle for the hat trick. She now has 4 scores on the season as the Lopes look to take this win into the week as they travel up to Utah to take on the Utah Valley Wolverines before returning home here next Saturday to take on CSU Bakersfield before their big trip to Seattle for the WAC tournament. So thank you for tuning in. Women's soccer, again, will play their final home game on November 2nd, next Saturday night when they take on CSU Bakersfield. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. From everybody here at GCU TV, alongside Montana Lambden, I'm Jack O'Hara saying have a great rest of your Thursday night, and as always, go Lopes.